Beginning, the man who was never meant to be found. I learned very early that the universe was large enough to lose anyone forever. Planets vanished in nebulae. Civilizations collapsed between star cycles. Names were erased from records not by malice, but by time. That was why I believed I was safe. I had no ship of my own, no beacon, no empire searching for me, just a borrowed identity and a quiet existence on a mining moon that didn't even deserve a name. The locals called it K-47, a frozen rock orbiting a dying star, useful only because it hadn't quite frozen solid yet. I worked maintenance on atmospheric processors. 12-hour shifts. No questions asked. No one cared where you came from as long as you didn't cause trouble. That anonymity saved my life. Because somewhere beyond the spiral arms, she was looking for me. I just didn't know it yet. The day I disappeared, I had been human once, fully human, officially registered, traceable. That version of me died 14 years earlier during the Soul Fracture incident, when a human exploration fleet crossed into territory claimed by the Aurelian Compact. The Aurelians were not conquerors. They were worse. They were observers. They studied species the way humans studied insects, curious, meticulous, and utterly detached from morality as we understood it. When the Compact intercepted our fleet, negotiations lasted precisely 93 seconds before the Aurelians disabled every ship without firing a single visible weapon. They didn't kill us. They took us. Out of 4,218 humans aboard, only 17 survived long enough to be classified as useful. I was one of them, the alien woman who asked my name. Her designation was Valeth Saruin, though I didn't learn that until much later. To me, she was just the alien woman with eyes like shifting starlight. Aurelians were tall, willowy beings with opalescent skin that refracted light in strange colors. Their faces were symmetrical to the point of being unsettling, their movements fluid as if gravity were a suggestion rather than a rule. Valeth was a xenocartographer, a specialist tasked with mapping not just space, but species trajectories, predicting where civilizations would evolve, migrate, or collapse. She was the one who noticed me during intake. Most humans were cataloged as biological samples or labor assets. Valeth stopped at my pod. "This one is divergent," she said. An Aurelian overseer tilted its head. "Clarify." "He is statistically insignificant," she replied, "yet his neural resilience exceeds expected parameters. He should not still be conscious." The overseer considered me for less than a second. "Then remove him from the call. You may study him until utility expires." That was how I survived. The experiment that changed everything. Valeth didn't torture me. She didn't even restrain me most of the time. Instead, she asked questions. About Earth. About human art. About why humans continued to explore even when extinction probabilities were high. At first, I answered cautiously. Later, honestly. Something about her curiosity felt different. Less clinical. More personal. One cycle, she activated a neural interface to record my memories directly. "That will damage me," I warned. She hesitated, an unusual reaction for an Aurelian. "I will moderate the flow," she said. "I don't wish to harm you." The interface synced, and something went wrong. My memories didn't just play. They imprinted. Human emotion, grief, hope, longing, flooded into Valeth's mind with a force no Aurelian had experienced before. Their species evolved to suppress emotional imprinting. Mine did not. She collapsed. Alarms filled the chamber. I was sedated immediately. When I woke, the ship was in chaos. Valeth was gone. And so was I. The escape, no one recorded. The official Aurelian report would later state that Subject H, 219 was destroyed during a containment breach. That was a lie. Valeth had done the unthinkable. She had erased my existence from the Compact's archives, falsified destruction data, and launched me in a stealth pod toward unclaimed space. I woke alone, drifting between stars, with no coordinates and no idea who had saved me. I never saw her face again. For 14 years. Middle, the galaxy that refused to forget I built a new life because that was the only way to stay sane. I moved from system to system, always on the fringe, always under a different name. I avoided trade hubs, long-range scans, anything that might mark me as unusual. I thought the Aurelians had forgotten. I was wrong. Valeth's obsession for Aurelians, memory was sacred. What Valeth had done, tampering with official records, was a violation punishable by mind severance, a fate worse than death. But they never discovered the truth. Because Valeth didn't run. She stayed. And she searched. At first, it was professional. A quiet audit of anomalous data. Ghost signatures. Gaps where destruction reports didn't quite align. Then it became personal. The human memory imprint had changed her. She dreamed. Aurelians were not supposed to dream. In her rest cycles, she saw oceans she had never visited, heard music that didn't exist in her culture, felt a persistent sense of absence. She ran probability models obsessively. If the human survived, where would he go? What species chose obscurity over power? What kind of man disappeared when he could have become something greater? The galaxy was vast, but patterns always existed. And Valeth was very good at finding patterns. The first near miss, I was working on a trade station near the Heliox Drift when it happened. Aurelian vessels entered the system, sleek, luminous constructs that bent light around their hulls. Panic rippled through the station. Most species feared the Compact. I hid. I always hid. From a maintenance shaft, I watched her walk through the concourse. 14 years older, though age worked differently on Aurelians. Her movements were more deliberate now. Her eyes, heavier. She scanned crowds not with sensors, but with focus. I held my breath. She passed within 10 meters of me, and kept walking. I didn't realize until later that she had felt something then, a resonance she couldn't explain. She would come closer next time. Why she didn't stop searching Aurelians lived long lives. But Valeth knew she was running out of time. The Compact had begun questioning her inefficiencies, her unusual behavior, her unauthorized deep searches into obsolete human data. She was summoned before the Council of Observers. You are distracted, they told her. She did not deny it. You pursue a statistical anomaly. I pursue a truth, she replied. They issued an ultimatum. One more unsanctioned search, and she would be reassigned. Her memories edited. Her individuality diluted back into conformity. She left the chamber, knowing this was her final chance. She narrowed the search.
To me.
The second encounter, I was on K-47 when she found me. The moment her ship entered orbit, every sensor on the moon went haywire. The sky fractured with auroral light as Aurelian tech folded space around the gravity well. I knew instantly. Not fear. Recognition. I didn't run this time. I stood outside the processor facility as her shuttle descended, frost swirling around it like a living thing. She stepped out alone. No guards. No weapons. Just her. Her eyes locked onto mine, and I felt it. The same pull that had once connected our minds. You're alive, she said, her voice trembling in a way Aurelians were not supposed to tremble. So are you, I replied. For a long moment, neither of us moved. The galaxy held its breath. Ending. The choice that redefined two species. The truth between us. We sat inside the abandoned processor hub, surrounded by humming machines and frozen metal. I search for you, Valeth said quietly. Across 12 sectors. 17 probability webs. I defied my people for you. I never asked you to, I said. No, she agreed. You didn't. She told me everything. How the memory imprint had changed her. How she had begun questioning the Aurelian belief that observation was superior to participation. How human emotion had shown her a future the compact would never allow. They will come, she said, when they realize what I've done. I nodded. They always do. She looked at me then, not as a specimen, not as a memory, but as a choice. Come with me, she said. We can disappear together, beyond mapped space. I thought of 14 years of running, of borrowed names, of never belonging anywhere. And if I say no? I asked. Then I will erase you from my mind, she said softly. Before they do it for me, that was the cruelest kindness she could offer. The arrival of the compact, they came faster than expected. 3 observer vessels tore into orbit, locking the moon in a gravitational vice. Reality warped. The processor screamed as systems overloaded. Valeth stood, her posture resolute. I will not let them take you, she said. I stepped beside her. Then don't. The observers descended. You have violated compact law, they intoned. Step aside, human. Valeth moved in front of me. This human is under my protection. Protection is irrelevant, they replied. Prepare for cognitive severance. Something shifted inside me. 14 years of fear burned away. No, I said. The observers turned their attention to me, surprised that a human would speak. I won't be erased again. Valeth looked at me sharply. You don't understand what they can do. I understand enough, I said. You taught me. I reached for her hand. This time, she didn't hesitate. The signal that changed the galaxy together, we did something no one had ever attempted. We synchronized. Human emotion and Aurelian cognition merged, not as domination, but as resonance. Valeth opened the compact's observation lattice. And instead of data, she transmitted experience. Fear, hope, love, loss. Every human memory that had once imprinted her now flooded the Aurelian network. The observer staggered. Across the compact, Aurelians felt something awaken. Not curiosity. Empathy. The lattice destabilized. The observers retreated, not defeated, but changed. Silently. After the search ends, the compact did not collapse. But it withdrew. Observation missions were suspended. Human territories were declared autonomous zones. And Valeth? She resigned. Officially, she ceased to exist. Unofficially, she left with me aboard a ship built for 2 species, heading toward a region of space still marked unknown. The final truth sometimes, as we drift between stars, she asks me the same question. Why did you stop running? I always give the same answer. Because you searched the galaxy for me, I say. And no one does that for something meaningless. She watches the stars then, her eyes reflecting infinite light. And I know the truth. The galaxy may be vast, but some connections are impossible to lose.